Ever cranked up that riff and felt your spine tingle like you've just been electrocuted by a faulty amp? Black Sabbath's Paranoid, yeah, that one. It's the kind of track that sneaks into your skull and refuses to leave, whispering dark nothings about minds unraveling and happiness playing hard to get. But here's the kicker. This beast of a song, this cornerstone of heavy metal that's outlived trends, wars, and probably a few band members' livers, was slapped together faster than a dodgy kebab after a gig. And the secrets? Oh, they've been buried deeper than Ozzy's lost weekends. We're talking last-minute miracles, misheard suicides, and a title that doesn't even show up in the lyrics. By the end, you'll wonder if the real paranoia was ever in the song at all, or if it's just what happens when four blokes from Birmingham accidentally invent a genre. Let's rewind to 1970, that glorious mess of a year when the world was still reeling from Woodstock's hangover, and Vietnam was turning peace signs into protest chants. Black Sabbath. Tony Iommi on guitar, Geezer Butler on bass, Bill Ward on drums, and Ozzy Osbourne howling like Abanshee with a sore throat, had just dropped their self-titled debut, a slab of doom that scared the daylights out of hippies everywhere. But success? It bit them quick, and their label Vertigo wanted more. So off they trot to Regent Sound Studios in London, armed with riffs heavier than a lead coffin and enough ambition to fill a stadium. They'd been jamming ideas on the road, stretching sets in dingy Swiss clubs where they'd play the same tune for 45 minutes just to kill time. Picture it. These lads, chain-smoking in a haze, turning improvised noodling into what would become the Paranoid album. But here's where the wackiness kicks in. They're wrapping up, thinking they've got a solid record called War Pigs, a anti-war fury and satanic vibes. Then the producer, Roger Bain, pipes up. Lads, we're short. Need a 3-minute filler to pad this out. Filler? As in the musical equivalent of stuffing newspaper in your boots to make 'em fit? Tony Iommi, that riff wizard with fingertips tougher than steel, literally after lopping off the ends in a factory accident, shrugs and stays behind while the others nip out for lunch. He plugs in, fiddles around, and bam, that iconic E minor pentatonic power chord crunch is born. Simple, catchy, like a hammer to the forehead. The boys come back, stuffed with whatever passes for grub in 70s London, and Tony plays it. Geezer grabs a pen, scribbles lyrics in about 2 minutes flat. Ozzy? He reads them off the page while belting into the mic. Whole thing? 25 minutes tops. What if they'd grabbed an extra pint instead? We'd have an album missing its heartbeat, and heavy metal might still be waiting for its wake-up call. Talk about dodging a bullet, or in Sabbath's case, a war pig. Now those lyrics Geezer dashed off? Pure gold, but twisted. Finished with my woman 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. Oof. That's not some petty breakup ballad. It's Geezer channeling his own demons. See, back then he was a bit of a self-harmer, flirting with the edge, and he credits the band with yanking him back from the brink. But the song? It's all about depression masquerading as paranoia. Geezer admits he didn't even know the difference, thought it was the same foggy hell. Blame the joints. When you're smoking dope, you get totally paranoid about people can't relate. Then the crash hits, and boom, depression. People think I'm insane because I am frowning all the time. Deadpan delivery right there, like Geezer's observing his own meltdown from across the pub. And happiness I cannot feel and love to me is so unreal. That's the gut punch, the raw ache of feeling numb in a world screaming for joy. But get this, the word paranoid isn't even in the bloody lyrics. They picked it because it sounded cool, edgy, like something that'd sell records without scaring off the squares. Irony? The track ends with, I tell you to enjoy life, I wish I could, but it's too late. Some numpties misheard it as end your life, sparking rumors of suicides tied to the song. Imagine that, a tune meant to vent the blues, twisted into a supposed death note. If only those whisperers knew it was Geezer's way of saying, cheer up, mate, easier said than done. What a cheeky twist, eh? Like the universe winking at its own misery. But oh, the album saga? That's where the real drama unfolds, thicker than Bill Ward's drum fills. They'd titled the whole thing War Pigs after the opener, a scorching takedown of warmongers as the true devils, originally called Walpurgis, like Satan's Christmas party. Lyrics ripping into generals and politicians, with Vietnam's shadow looming large. The cover art. This blurry pink warrior charging out of the woods with a sword and shield, all motion smeared and surreal, shot in Black Park by some bloke named Keith. Meant to evoke those war pigs, literal and fierce. But the label panics. Vietnam's a hot potato, supporters might boycott. Plus Paranoid the single is testing well. So, last minute, they swap the title to Paranoid. Artwork stays the same, though. Result? An album cover that looks like a confused cosplayer at a Renaissance fair. Zero connection to the song. Ozzy later quipped it was completely random, like the label drew it from a hat. And the launch? September 18th, 1970 in the UK, same day Jimi Hendrix checks out forever. Coincidence? Or the rock gods trading one legend for another's rise? The US gets it in January 71 because the debut's still charting. No radio love at first, too heavy, too dark, but word spreads like wildfire in a dry forest. Paranoid, the single climbs to number 4 in the UK, their only top 10 hit ever. In the States? Scrapes to 61 on the Hot 100, but who cares? It becomes the gateway drug to Sabbath's world. Banned by some stations for that supposed suicide vibe, which only amps the intrigue. And the band? They hate it at first. Geezer thinks it rips off Led Zepp's Communication Breakdown. Too simple, too poppy. Tony calls it filler forever. But fate laughs last. It defines them. From there, ascent to legend? Rocket-fueled. Paranoid, the album, tops the UK charts. Sabbath's only one till 2013's 13, and hits 12 in the US, shifting millions without a whisper of airplay. It's hailed as the blueprint for heavy metal, those down-tuned riffs, the occult edge, the sheer weight. Rolling Stone later ranks it in their 500 greatest, calling it a cultural Molotov. VH1 crowns it the top metal song ever. And the ripple effects? Endless. Bands like Metallica, Nirvana, Slipknot, they all bow to Iommi's axe work. Hell, even punk outfits like the Dickies cover it in '78, hitting the UK charts and proving metal and punk are secret cousins. Megadeth's '94 version nabs a Grammy nod, though drummer Nick Menza forgets to stop playing at the end, Dave Mustaine yelling his name like an exasperated dad. Weezer flips it mellow on their Teal album. And culturally? It's everywhere. Sid and Nancy, Dazed and Confused, Almost Famous, soundtracks for rebellion. Video games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band let kids shred it at home. In Finland, it's their Freebird. Crowds yell "Soi taka Paranoid" at any gig, no matter the band. Absurd, right? What if Sabbath toured there and played polka instead? Riots in saunas. And get this obscure nugget. Tony recorded with a black eye from scrapping with punks, tying into Fairies Wear Boots on the same album. Or how about the German cover by Cindy and Amp, Bert, turning it into a Schlager tune about Sherlock Holmes's hound? Complete with a Pekingese dog on TV, talk about wacky crossovers. Even the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002, Ozzy, Tony, Phil Collins and Pino Palladino bash it out at Buckingham Palace. Royalty headbanging? Now that's paranoia-inducing. The enduring impact? It's a monster that won't die. Paranoid's threaded into the fabric of rock, spawning tributes, parodies and endless debates. That riff? It's been sampled, stolen, saluted. Think of it as the evil twin of Satisfaction, but with more doom. Quirky aftermath? Plenty. Rumors fly. A nurse in '74 overdoses with the album spinning. Blame the music? Nah, inquest clears him. Or Britney Spears supposedly plotting a cover album including it. Imagine that pop metal mashup, like chocolate and anchovies. Didn't happen, but what if? Global meltdown. And in 2025, at Sabbath's final Back to the Beginning bash in Birmingham, The original four reunite one last time. Ozzy in a chair, Parkinson's be damned, and close with Paranoid amid fireworks. Tributes from Anthrax, Pantera, Tool. Even King Charles Guards honor Ozzy post-mortem with a rendition. Ripple effects on culture? It birthed metal's dark heart, making room for thrash, grunge, nu metal. Lyrics unpack real pain, mental health before it was trendy. Can you help me occupy my brain? That's the cry of anyone scrolling doom at 3 a.m. Satirical swipe. Labels today would CGI the cover, add auto-tune, and call it a collab with some influencer. But Sabbath? Raw, urgent, genius in the grit. So there you have it, the wild, wacky history behind Black Sabbath's Paranoid, from lunch break miracle to eternal riff lord. If this tale of accidental anthems and depressed dope dreams made you chuckle or headbang, smash that like button, subscribe for more rock lore that bites back, and drop a comment. What's your most paranoid moment? Until next time, keep frowning, it's probably just the world being insane.